We're getting close. The Lakers have reportedly narrowed their head coaching search down to 3. However, it's Bucks assistant Darvin Ham, who LeBron is reportedly signing off on. All right, Shannon, should Jeannie Buss pick the coach that LeBron wants?
No. Jeannie Buss should pick the coach that she feels is best to lead this organization. I love how when LeBron wanted Ty Lue, Jeannie Buss said no. But when she wanted Russell Westbrook, he said yeah, because, see, it's easy to blame. See, because if things go well, we'll just put this on LeBron. At the end of the day, Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss, they have the final decision. So why wasn't Monty Williams hired? Why wasn't Ty Lue hired? LeBron James signed off on both of those guys. Nobody said a word. Hire Frank Vogel, seemed to work out. Now, I don't blame that on Frank Vogel. I understand that he had to go because you can't fire all the players, but it was a disaster from the beginning. Nobody thought this mess was going to work. Nobody. Only the Lakers. Why? I have no idea. But no, Jeannie Buss needs to hire whomever I deem is going to be the best fit coach this organization. Not just coach LeBron James, not just coach our superstar players, but who is the best coach. But, I mean, looking at these candidates, they're going to get micromanaged. I mean, Darvin Ham, this is his first-time job. How do you say no to the Lakers for a first-time job? Very few people, Skip, we've seen guys take jobs when we know it's not the right situation for them, Skip. But I don't know, Skip. I might not never get an opportunity to be a head coach again. I better go ahead and jump on this. That's why you see a lot of coaches, they become better coaches the second time around than they were the first time around.
Okay, but back to the biggest question, who right now is the most important Los Angeles Laker by far?
Oh, LeBron.
By far, right? Because if nothing else, you're going to have the biggest sideshow in professional basketball and professional sports as he passes Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the all-time leading point scorer in the NBA. It will become
You're absolutely right.
Right? So
yes, Skip, and they'll have, let me cut you off, Skip.
Yeah.
And they'll have just as many national televised games as the team that wins the championship this year. The LeBron James will be on television, the Lakers will be on television as much as the Warriors, the Celtics, or whomever win the title, LeBron James Lakers, because the more compelling story next year is what, Skip? Passing Kareem.
And it's a sideshow that will become the show for the Lakers. Does that mean they can't make the playoffs? No, it doesn't. They should make the playoffs. But, again, what do I always say about LeBron? Who has the highest basketball IQ in the NBA? It's LeBron. I don't think it's even close. We can argue various other players we're watching right now, Luka or Steph or whoever you want to talk about, Draymond. But in the end, it's LeBron. So if he's your centerpiece, if he's your cornerstone, even though he's starting to show some signs of age, wouldn't you seek his input on who the coach would be? Even short term, because you're not sure how long LeBron will play, although I'm sure he would tell you today, I can play 3 more years, 4 more years, 5 more years, and I do want to play with Bronny, so I want the ability to exit stage left if I have to join Bronny elsewhere to realize my dream of playing for at least 1 year with my son.
No, Skip. Skip. I'm not saying that you shouldn't run it by him, but I am saying he shouldn't be the de facto voice. That LeBron wants him, even though I don't feel he's the best guy for the organization. Absolutely. Okay, LeBron, we whittled it down to 3 candidates. Who do you feel most comfortable with? But if Skip, at the end of the day, you're my VP. I'm the CEO. I'm going to run things by you, Skip, because you're there day to day. But at the end of the day, I've got to do what I feel. But I don't. You know what? Damn. I just think this other situation would be better. I'm going to go in that direction. I'm going to value your input. I really do. I'm going to take your opinion to heart. But at the end of the day, Skip, I've got to do what I feel is in the best interest of the organization, although I am listening to what LeBron has to say.
Okay. I think that this would be the first time in many, many years that you would have an NBA situation that would call for a player coach. because I think that next year LeBron could coach this team while playing for this team better than any interloper head coach coming in from outside in would be able to coach this team.
Oh,
That's just me.
So he gonna be a Kyrie and KD next year.
What's that? Say.
So he gonna be a Kyrie and KD next year. You know they coach the Nets. They don't need Steve Nash.
I don't think they paid a lot of attention to what Steve Nash had to say, but again, that's Kyrie and KD, and I always say Kyrie's more the leader and KD's the follower. But in this case, LeBron is clearly the leader of this team, and if in fact you force them to keep Westbrook, I seriously, from my heart, I believe LeBron could coach this team better as a player, as the point guard, even though Russ has to be partially the point guard, than any Darvin Ham could coach it, or Terry Stotts or Kenny Atkinson. Yet the problem is the dysfunction of the system that's in place. Because you have a Phil Jackson and a Kurt Rambis who want coaching input from above. They want to be able to coach the coach. Well, obviously, LeBron would be the last guy who would sit still for those guys telling him how to run the show as far as pure basketball went. But I'm just telling you that would be more intriguing to me. I think it could generate not only more buzz, but more victories, I believe, if LeBron were allowed to coach the team. Now, again, knowing him, he'd say, I don't want the onus of it. I don't want the responsibility of it. I don't want the distraction of it. And I know for a fact they don't want that, because they're more like Dallas Cowboy-esque. It's funny, like Lakers, Cowboys, Yankees, but it's like the Lakers have in a different way become the Cowboys, because Jerry, he wants to coach the coach. He wants a puppet coach. And I think Jeannie and company want somebody that they feel like they have some control over. See Darvin Ham, because Darvin comes in, poor Darvin. What cachet does he have? What leverage, bargaining power does he's got? None, because he's never been a head coach. So you hired him. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Now we're gonna say you're right. He had Skip first-time head coaching, and I get the Los Angeles Lakers. Kenny Atkinson is going to be happy to have a job. So is Terry Stotts.
Yep.
So yeah, you're absolutely right.
So in the end, it's like, to me, it's Darvin Ham or bust under the current setup that is the dysfunctional Lakers. That's the only one I can see where they feel like we still have control over him. And again, it is reported that LeBron at least likes Darvin Ham. I'm sure he knows him a little bit, and he respects him.
How about this, Skip? I got a trade for you.
Great points,
Let's trade. We're going to, Jen, let me get this trade for Skip. Let me see what he thinks about it. We're going to trade Russell Westbrook, Taylor Horton-Tucker, and that first-round draft pick to Chicago for Zach LaVine. Reunite Russ with his coach, Billy Donovan, and we get Zach LaVine. What you think about that?
Chicago would never do it in a million years. Why would they want Russell Westbrook when they've got Lonzo Ball?
Zach LaVine is a free agent, and we can go wherever we want to, and you can't franchise basketball players. Okay,
why don't you just give the Lakers the playoff? Just give them. Maybe if the league mandated that, they'd do it, but there's no way the Bulls are going to do that.
I'm proposing a trade, Skip. You get something. Are you going to let him walk for nothing?
Yeah, I would just cut him. Just me.
You can't. He's a free agent. We got us a deal.
I like this role as you two as GMs. Good stuff, guys. All right, we got to talk about Jason Tatum coming up. Is he becoming the next NBA superstar right before our eyes? Skip and Shannon have more coming up next.
No mercy, no mercy.